Alex Barrone is making a name for himself very quickly in Hollywood. This month, you'll see him opposite Michael Keaton in Hulu's Dopesick. Plus, he has a big role opposite Mila Kunis in the film Luckiest Girl Alive. But right now, he says his most important role is being active as an advocate for children and adults living with disabilities. Alex joins us now this morning to talk about advocacy and how he hopes to get others on board with this kind of advocacy during Disability Employment Awareness Month in October. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, indeed. Good to have you. Let's talk first. I know that this is so important to you, this concept of advocating for those who are living and thriving with disabilities. Why was that something you really wanted to push for, not just in Hollywood, but just across the board in every industry?
Yeah, so I was born with a condition called fibular hemimelia, which led me ultimately having 43 surgeries growing up. I think I spent a lot of my childhood super insecure and on the sidelines of at school and watching other kids play and kind of just in my own head about what I wish I could do at the time. So growing up, I really wanted to give back and kind of be the role model that I wish I had growing up, that I needed growing up. So I didn't know anybody like me. So that's what I'm fighting for, is to be the guy and the kind of like a person to these kids that I'd never had.
Obviously it's working, but what did you have to do? Because that really is a shift. I think the visual of you being on the sidelines, wishing you could be a part of that, to going to the guy who's now not on the sidelines, but you're right there in the middle of it. How did you have that kind of a shift? Because I think people could really learn from that experience.
Sure. I had the shift when I kind of let my guard down a little bit. I had taken an acting class and it was a way to get outside of my own skin and kind of put myself in somebody else's shoes at the time, which I think helped a lot of my insecurity come out, almost like an escape from myself. Another thing that really boosted my confidence was this foundation I found called Camp No Limits. Camp No Limits is a traveling camp for kids and teens with limb loss and limb differences. And I went there as a volunteer, mentor, fell in love, and was like, where was this place when I was a kid? And I've been going ever since, and that was about 6 years ago.
Wow. Let's talk quickly before we have to go just about your latest projects. I mean, this is you're a clear example of not letting a disability be anything but a greater ability. Tell us about what the projects you're working on right now.
Yeah, so this week, Wednesday, I have tomorrow a series called Dopesick coming out. A small part in this amazing series about the opioid pandemic, how it started. It's a story that hits close home to me personally because I lost my father due to opioids. But also, I think to a lot of people in America and around the world, I think it's a story that will hit close to home.
Well, thank you for being a part of such important advocacy, one, and for helping to tell such an important story as well, both issues that really need to be on the minds of all of us right now. And congratulations and good luck. Continued success in your career, too, Alex.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, indeed.
Have a good day.
You too. To learn more about National Disability Employment Awareness Month, visit fox5atlanta.com and click on the viewer information story.